Have you ever wanted to know about information about your veteran status, veterans affairs, veterans benefits, information that you need to file a veterans claim? Well, stick around, my brothers and my sisters. We got somebody that can help you out with some information that may be pertinent to you on the other side of this piece. Hello, my friends. This is BobbieD coming to you live from the Lombard Cebu, Philippines. Having an awesome time in the Philippines today. Hope you are as well wherever you're from. For those of you here for the first time, I would suggest you click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you continue seeing fresh new Philippine videos, motivational videos, and worldwide videos. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one of our subscribers. He has his own show. It's called Markell Wingfield. His show's called Markell's TV, the podcast. Markell is an American veteran. He specializes, his specialty is giving information to veterans regarding their veterans claims, veterans affairs, and things that would help them in their endeavor in living as a veteran in this world and in America. Okay, veterans are very special to everyone in the United States. They defend, they're defenders of the peace. They defend our right to have a decent and normal lifestyle, and they're the first ones to go out to fight for us. And so whenever there's a problem in their lives, we should be able to stand up for them because they stood the time, stood the test for us, stood up for us. So we need to stand for them. Veterans have a lot of issues going on. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have followed these series of broadcasts with Markell and I on the show, we usually come to you on Saturday, on Friday mornings. There's Thursday nights there in your Junior West. And he gives us a lot of pertinent information. Some of the information he talked about on the last show was that beginning October 1, okay, October 1, there was going to be a veterans care program starts that you can be eligible to sign up for your veterans caregiver program, okay? Now, the caregiver program is a program that it gives you money if you're a veteran that's disabled and you need someone to help you to, get up and make your bed or whatever, keep your house, do your daily tasks. You have a caregiver. Some people use their spouse as that. Some people use their sisters or brothers or children, and that person can apply for, if they're 100% disabled, they can apply for the caregivers program. Now, that program gives you a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but it gives you a certain amount of money that you can then add on top of your disability payment that you're receiving from the government as well. That program it's actually started already. It starts October 1, and it's in effect right now. Also, he told us that as of January 1, 2023, all veterans, okay, no matter what era you came from, I don't care if you're Vietnam, Iraq, whatever, man, you are eligible to apply for life insurance. Are you with me, ladies and gentlemen? Life insurance. Some of y'all don't have it. If you're a veteran, if you serve some time in the military, you are able. I remember when I was in the military, the life insurance was cheap, man. I mean, I think I had like 50,000. I don't know. It was so many thousands, and they took it out of my check. I think it was a part of it, a very small amount out of my check. And so it's cheap, man. When you get a good, and you have to qualify for no medical exam, none of that, starting January 1. That's how much your government cares about veterans. The United States government cares about veterans. Right? That they know that veterans have problems getting life insurance, because whenever you get older, you have so many sicknesses, nobody want to give you life insurance. But the veterans put their life on the line, and they should have insurance. And so the government saw fit to put that program in effect. Okay. So another thing we talked about telehealth. If you have information, if you need information that will give you, if you need information about your veteran status and you're in another country, you can contact telehealth. That's a number available to get telehealth. A telehealth program to get you help on whatever concerns or information you need regarding your veterans allowance. We talked about another problem. Not problem, but we talked about CDR, continuing disability review. What is that, BobbieD? What you mean continuing disability review? That means if you have qualified as a disabled veteran and the United States government is sending you a check, okay, every month, you may just get eligible for a continuing disability review. Not only with the federal government as veterans, but if you're on disability, Social Security disability, you may get a CDR, continuing disability review. That means that the government says, okay, I'm giving you this check for the last 3 years. I'm just checking in with you, mister, to see if you're still disabled, if your status is still disabled. Do we need to still keep sending you this check? And then, because a lot of times people will get that disability status and then they'll go to work like they're 100%, they did, and then they're getting the check on top of a check, right? They're getting the work check, right? And they're getting the disability check. The government says, wait a minute. You're getting 2 checks, mister. You fooled us like you was disabled, and now you're going to work. It's like you ain't nothing wrong with you. So that's why they have the CDR. They were getting a lot of people claiming they were still disabled, but they're getting a full-time job as well. Okay, so that's one thing we want to check about. That's coming up as well. We talked about also. Hold on a second. We talked about the VA class. Those of you that have the qualify for the VA benefits, you can also get a check for VA for veterans benefits who go to school. Okay, Markell talked about with the VA qualified plan, you can do a 1-person class and the rest online. And a single person, you get $3,300 a month just for going to school. If you qualify for the GI Bill, where you take the class, you get $3,300 a month plus $5,000 if you're married, and that gives you $8,300 a month. Okay, plus Social Security, and if you're on a disability, whatever, you still get another approximately $1,200. Okay, so if you have a veterans GI Bill, you qualify for that, ladies and gentlemen, you take advantage of it. And if you don't want to go to school, say, I don't like that school stuff, man. I'm not with that school stuff, Bobby. I'm not with that. I don't like to read. I don't like to write. I want that. I don't like to do. Okay. What about your daughter, mister? What about your son? What about your spouse? You can transfer that GI Bill to someone that needs it, okay? Because you've earned it, right? You've earned it. And so rather than it go to waste, why don't you think about transferring it to someone in your family that could take advantage of it, okay? We talked about the PACT Act, okay? The PACT Act, okay? That's an act that, you remember the burn pits? The burn pits, people, if you were in the military and there was any type of war area, what the United States military would do, get all the grenades, all the weapons, all the massive, anything they want to get rid of, they dig a big, huge area, a big pit, and they dump everything in that pit, metal, chemicals, plastic, whatever, and they would just burn it. And the smell would go the fumes, the chemicals from that burn pit would go everywhere, and people would breathe it in. And come to find out, people that breathe those burn pits elements and smoke into inhaled it are sick. Okay, so recently the PACT Act was enacted, and it's also called the Burn Pit Act, and to give people that and suffer from sicknesses from that a way to get benefit and a way to get help. Okay, and so if you were in an area where they had burn pits, call that number on the screen and see if you qualify for it. It's a godsend to many veterans today, because a lot of people are suffering from a lot of stuff that they didn't really knew there was cause of that, But when they trace it back, they find out. Were you ever around any burn pits? You say, yes, sir. Okay, that could be a problem, because if you remember, President Biden's son, Beau Biden, he died from a brain cancer, and they said that brain cancer came from him. He was in direct contact with a burn pit for many years during his tour of duty overseas. So it is important, ladies and gentlemen, if you were around you're around a burn pit during your time of tour of duty, you need to get yourself down and contact that number to see if you may qualify for that as well. Markell's not showing up yet. I'm gonna check, but I'm giving you some information. All this information I'm getting it from Markell. As I keep notes, some of the notes he's talked about. So presumptive. There's another program he talked about, presumptive service connected. What that means is the government is saying that sometimes people can't really prove that you were part of a problem and you were sick in your unit in the military, but they're going to give you presumptive service. We're presuming because you were in the area where the burn pit was, your unit was in that area. We assume that you may have been affected by it, and then you may qualify for a disability because of that as well. We talked about, and this is going a little bit different from the subject. We talked about we talked about the Federal Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union, Pentagon banks, our ATM reimburse you if you're coming overseas, ladies and gentlemen, and you have a Navy Federal Credit Union or the USAA Pentagon Federal Credit Union. You can go to any ATM bank overseas or in the States and pull money out, and you will be reimbursed for all charges for pulling that money out. Okay, all fees pertaining to you pulling your money out. Okay, we talked about the VRAP. VRAP is a part of the CARES Act retraining program for veterans age 22 to 26. Okay, if you want to if you're between 22 and 26, and you need to be retrained on something, you think you're out of technology, you don't have the skills to get jobs and so forth, this is a training program that you may qualify. It's called VRAP. Okay, and you may want to check that out, contacting your nearest officers for that. You can call 1-877, excuse me, one of them, 1-800-698-2411. Okay, see if you can qualify for that program. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't have time to go through all the stuff we talked about. But we talked about a lot of stuff. So Markell not here. Probably something happened. So we know he's always reliable. So if he's not here, we know something happened. Let's go ahead with the show. We're gonna find out who's running the train today. Let's see. We got. Okay, hold up, Marcus. You get. Hold on, y'all. I think he just showed up. Give me a second. Yeah, my bad, because I got it to him late. Y'all don't know. Hold it against him. It's my bad. Okay.
What's going
Markell,
on, BobbieD?
How you doing, my brother? So good to see you in the house today.
Not too bad, man. I'm actually out and about on vacation in a different location.
Vacation.
So
all right,
I'm using my iPad. That's why it took me so long to click on. For whatever reason, it didn't want to click on in the beginning.
Okay, that's good, man. As long as you're here, I'm glad to hear you. I went over a whole lot of stuff. I take notes, man. I got a lot of notes, so I went over a whole lot of stuff with the people already. So without further ado, we're just gonna go. You got anything for us? What do you got to say?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What do you have to bring to us today? The floor is yours. Whatever you want to say.
Okay. So I just want to reiterate something you had just touched on, which is I get a lot of comments and questions from veterans who are interested in traveling overseas. They're interested in the country. They're interested in living in these countries. And what I try to tell them, BobbieD, is, don't rush into it. Take your time. Visit a lot of different locations first, then make a decision. Because anyone can edit a video and make it look great. I can make a video about Colombia and make you go, man, this is a perfect place. Nowhere is perfect. Everywhere has its problem. So if you're someone who's looking to move somewhere, first you need to visit. I don't know how many times you visited Philippines before you moved to the Philippines, BobbieD, but
5 years.
Your first time there, it's going to be a culture shock to you, because a lot of things that you think from the States is not going to be what it is. It's just not. Whatever your idea is coming from the United States of America, when you come to these countries, you might as well leave it on the plane, because you're going to run into situations and things are going to happen that's not going to be close to what you're accustomed to in the U.S. But go ahead, Bobby. I didn't mean to cut you off. How many times did you visit before you came to the Philippines?
For 5 years, I visited about 15 times. About 15 times. Yeah, 15 times, 15 trips. So it's a lot, man. And during that 15 trips, every trip was an eye opener, because I learned something new every time.
Correct.
Even right now, every day I'm learning something new about what everything changed. Things changes every day where you live, overseas or in the USA. And so you never stop learning. And so, you gotta understand where you're getting into, guys. Like Markell said, the rules where you live and the rules where you're going to don't apply. You have to change. You have to change your mindset, and you have to be flexible enough to adjust that you're not in the USA anymore. You have to go by the guidelines of the governing body you're under. If that's Colombia or the Philippines, well, you got to follow what they tell you. Just because you're an American citizen, that don't mean nothing. You're in somebody else's country, buddy. So it's important that you follow the rules wherever you go. And because what happens, and Markell's told us this many times, people in Colombia can come over there and act like they're in America, and then they wind up getting locked up. Okay, can't do this, man. Don't do that. That's a no. The same thing here. People in the come over here from America and the Philippines and try to act the same way, and then they try to be smart with the people, and then they get messed up. You don't come out here and try to talk smart to these people in their own country, but they'll show you ain't so smart. So, but it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that you always follow the rules and the regulations of the guideline in the country we're in. All right, let's see what we got. Diaz, he said, what's good, Markell? Bobby, hey, man, we doing good, man. Good to see you in the house. Diaz is a veteran as well. Smooth Sound, what's up, man? You good? Hey, Anthony Leggett said, Bobby, they wouldn't let me transfer. Okay, he said, Bobby, they wouldn't let me transfer my remaining 9/11 GI Bill to my son. Okay. They said you have to have 4 years left on your enlistment at the time of transfer, so I take online classes to get benefit. Okay, Markell, did you hear that?
He said he couldn't transfer because why?
He said, I'm gonna read it again. He said they wouldn't let me transfer my remaining 9/11 GI Bill to my son. They said you have to have 4 years left on your enlistment at the time of transfer, so I take online classes to get the benefits. So he had to have 4 years left on his enlistment at the time.
Okay, so he didn't have enough time left because it does expire. If you're not part of the GI Bill forever, I forgot to mention that part. It will expire. So if you got out of the military 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you never used your GI Bill, you're gonna lose it because it will expire. So it depends on the time frame in which they got out as well. But some veterans have GI Bill for life.
Okay, so he didn't put it in time enough to get it transferred. So that's what happened on that. Sorry about that, man. But at least you can get it, right? Your son
He's
can't
using
get
it. He's using it, so it's better to use it than lose it. That's for sure.
That's right. At least you can get something out of it. Let's go. We got Loving Freedom in the house. What's up, man? Say salute.
What up, Mike? What's going on?
Doing good.
BobbieD, don't let them forget about Voc Rehab. You mentioned a lot of them, but Voc Rehab is another one that they can do overseas. Voc Rehab. That's another one that'll pay them. And depending on when they serve, they can also get the housing allowance. So Voc Rehab is one for sure they don't want to forget.
Okay, Voc Rehab is I think you have to be ages 22 to 66. Is that right?
No. That's VRAP.
That's
VRAP. Voc Rehab need to be the minimum of 10% disabled. Just 10%. That's all you need.
Okay. Voc Rehab, you have to be at least 10% disability.
Correct. And you can go to school, or you can do a training course. You can start a small business. Voc Rehab does a lot of different things. Okay, so that's one veterans should definitely take advantage of. Those who qualify or those who still have remaining benefits left with Voc Rehab should definitely take advantage of Voc Rehab. You only need to show that you're 10% disabled. That's it.
Okay. That's awesome, man. That means if you got 10% disability, you can get a new training to get into a new field or a new job. That's a big benefit for people, that don't have that.
Now they have another program in Voc Rehab, but you have to be in the States for this one, and it's called God dang, I forgot the name just that quick. It's the best one they offer. It's called Living. Oh, I can't think of the name of it, BobbieD. I'm drawing a blank. Okay. But it's a program that basically helps veterans reintegrate themselves in the community. And basically what it does is, let's say you want to be a bass fisherman. Independent Living Program. That's the name of it. Independent Living Program. The Independent Living Program is the only program that you can get in the States. You can't get it anywhere else. And what they do, BobbieD, is I was using the example, say you wanted to be a bass fisherman. Through Independent Living Program, they will buy you a boat. They'll buy you a truck. They'll buy you all the fishing equipment. You go out there and do whatever you want to do. If you got a green thumb and you wanted to put a garden in your backyard, they'll build it. The VA approve it. They'll build an entire garden for you in your backyard, cover it up and everything.
Wow. That's awesome.
The independent living program. Now that is a hard program to get in because it's only so many veterans throughout the entire country that are allowed in the program every year. So you get about a year, it's about a year and a half to 2 years of training under the independent living program. You work with your counselor to figure out what you want to do. Because this is for people, BobbieD, who has disabilities that are so bad it's hard for them to integrate back into society. So, for example, they suffer real bad from PTSD, and they don't like being around people. Or, somebody's in a wheelchair. They just, for whatever reason, they just can't get along with anybody else. This is a way to help them function in society.
Okay, that's awesome because once you have a brain thing, it's hard to get back into society because people don't accept you, think you're crazy and all like that. They don't want to be bothered with you. So having a program that help you integrate back in society is awesome. So this independent living program, some of you that if you're out there right now, somebody that's been severely disabled and is veteran service connected, and he's trying to get a job or get back in society, he's having trouble. This is something that you may want to refer to them. Okay, it's called the independent living program. Marco just mentioned about it.
Yeah, and you apply through Voc Rehab for it.
Okay.
Now, depending on where the veteran is for Voc Rehab, you can apply in the Philippines for Voc Rehab, but you cannot in any other location. You're going to need to start it in the U.S. first. Okay. So, for example, like myself, I can put in the application online, right? And I just went through this with Voc Rehab because I was thinking of starting my own business, small business online. You can put the application in online. You can talk to the counselor and everything virtually. But when it comes to the actual implementation, they're going to want you to at least go to the States to see a counselor in person. I just went through this before somebody gets on and says, no, man, in the Philippines, that's why I'm telling you, in the Philippines is different. Because that is an actual VA in the Philippines versus all these other countries don't have one.
Right.
So before they blow your line up, Bobby says, no, I did it in the Philippines. I'm already acknowledging you can do it in the Philippines.
Right.
But you cannot do it outside of U.S. and U.S. territories in the Philippines. If you're outside of those locations, you're going to have to go to the U.S. to get it started. And what I mean by get it started is meet the counselor. They got to see you at least one time. When they see you that one time, then you can go right back where you came from.
Right. So, if you're planning on going overseas, ladies and gentlemen, and you're disabled, it would be very easy for you to integrate here in the Philippines, in Manila. We have a VA hospital here. There's a Social Security Administration here. And this is the only place in the world that has a VA hospital that's ran by the United States government. Only place in the world. So that's why a lot of veterans come here to live and retire, disabled veterans, because they know they got a VA right there. They don't have to go back to the States for this, that. You're right there, like they're at home. So always, man, want to consider where you're moving to, and if you're a disabled veteran, what do you have access to when you need it, And the Veterans Administration here is just like you in the U.S., okay? They treat you just like you in the U.S., okay? All right, let's see what we got. Let's see, hold on, let me get back. Loving Freedom, salute to you, man. Good to see you. James Miller, James Miles, what's up, man?
Miles?
Yeah, he's here today. Out of all your people here today, man.
Yeah.
Hanging with you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hang with your guy. Hang with your guy. If he doing you right, hang with him, okay? Let's go. We got Anthony Legacy. What's up, Markell? Is there a time limitation for appealing a denial for disability benefits? I was denied about 18 months ago.
No, there's not. Hell, I got a denial that was 15 years old. I just did. I just put in for my right side. So no, what you have to do though is file the correct paperwork. All right. Because if you try to file a claim for the same thing, they're going to tell you can't do that. You're going to have to file an appeal. So start with an appeal, get the correct appeal, okay? And if the decision doesn't go your way, you can file for a higher review, or you can go directly to the board, or you can ask for a judge to give you a decision. So you got options, but no, it is never too late to file an appeal.
Okay, that's good information, because some people just give up. They told me no, that's it. That's not necessarily it.
No, it's never too late to file an appeal.
Yeah, so yeah, the good question, and yeah, if you got a field that would turn down, hey, like Markell said 10, 15 years ago, go and put it back in. You never know what could happen. Times change, rules may have changed, you know. So we got right train, Bobby. James, thank you so much, James, for the donation to the nation. Wow, thank you, my brother. $50, man. I appreciate that, James. Thank you so much. Hey, James, man, come on over to the wild side, okay? Come on over to the Love Train. Hey, hit that subscribe button for us too, okay, man? I appreciate that. Stay with me and stay with Markell too. Let's do a dance for James real quick, and we'll come back to the question, okay? Give me real quick.
The hardest working man in the business. I feel good.
All right, thank you so much, James, for the donation to the nation. More blessings, much love to you, my brother. All right, who else we got riding the train? BobbieD, One Nation, under Groove and Love. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I got to get back where I was. Comments. Okay. All right, Diaz, he says, I have a general med and an orthopedic appointment coming up. Do I need to bring in any documents out of service injuries or reoccurring injuries?
Bringing them where? To the Philippines?
I don't know. He said, I have a general. I guess he means, no, I think he means to the States.
Oh, no. They already have your stuff.
Okay, so you don't have to bring anything according to Markell. They already got your paperwork. They show up with your information and that you need to show up with, and they'll pull your files, and you should be good.
Yeah.
What else we got? Go ahead.
Stuff. What's up, Barry? How you doing?
Barry in the house. What's up, Barry? He said, good evening, brothers. Good evening to you, Barry. Good to see you. All you veterans in the house today, riding the train with Markell. Let's get, who we got? Loving freedom. He said, all good, my brothers. Good to see you in the house today. Riding the train, BobbieD, Markell and BobbieD. Diaz. He said, does Voc Rehab give grants or loans to small businesses?
No, they don't do grants and they don't do loans. But what they do is set you up. Like if you need the license, if you need some equipment, if you need to learn how to do a particular thing, like do the books, maybe get you help with an office to do your taxes and so on and so forth. But they don't do grants and they don't do loans. They basically do everything else to set you up for success. You know, you write out a business plan. They teach you how to write out a business plan. They teach you how to, if you're not familiar with that job, training for that job or whatever field it is you're trying to get in. That's what Voc Rehab does. But if you're going into small business, you should have an idea already of what it is you want to do. And just like presenting a small business plan to a bank, I wrote up a small business plan to present to my counselor. So they knew I was serious about it. I did a profit and loss statement to show exactly how much I was going to make, how long it was going to take me to turn a profit. Those are things you should already have in place that you would know because you want to start a small business. But they don't do grants or loans.
Right. You can go to the SBA, Small Business Administration, and they may be able to consider you for a loan. If you have the proper documentation, like Markell said, you have to have a profit and loss. You have to have a business plan. All of that stuff has to be in line if the SBA gives you a loan. I got an SBA loan, so I know about it. And they turned me down first, but I went back and did it over the right way, and I got approved for the loan. So, you can get it done. Well, we got James Smile. He said, "What up to the chat?" Along with Dr. Markell, Brother LF, and Brother Barry, BobbieD, and the wife. Salute. Thank you so much, James. Salute back to you, man. Right back to you. Thank you for the donation for the nation. Okay, man. Much love, more blessings to you. Thank you so much, James Miles in the house with a big donation today. Thank you so much, my brother. Ryan Train, BobbieD, C One Nation, Markell. Mister, he said, watch out for Jody. Jody take your girl and gone. Hey, man, you know what Jody do, right? When you're back, when you ain't looking, Jody got your girl and gone. He said, where my girl at? Jody got her. I hear you, man. Let's go, Ryan Train, BobbieD, Markell today. Loving freedom. He said, I hope you all have a blessed day. I'm headed to the sleep center for tonight to do a sleep study. I know I won't be sleeping because it's too early for me to go to sleep. Okay. Sleep study. What's up with that?
That's they basically send you to a sleep study to see if you suffer from sleep apnea. And they set you up with a CPAP. Okay. So you can sleep better at night. So for you veterans out there, you may have a significant other, or you may have a roommate, and they're telling you sound like a train is coming down the tracks. You're a veteran, even if you don't get service connected for it, you can still go do the sleep study. It doesn't cost you anything to do the sleep study, and they still will give you a CPAP. Okay. And you can travel with it. They know what it is at the airports. Everybody knows what it is. Okay. So you can take it with you abroad. You take it everywhere you go, sleeping in a hotel or whatever. You can use it on the plane. That's why they got those plugs down there at the bottom. You see this little black bag that some people are carrying with them. That's what it is. Okay. It's a CPAP.
Okay. Okay. So that they put that on at night to go to sleep, help them sleep.
Yeah. Basically, it's a pressurized system that pumps air into your body. So sometimes when people are sleeping at night and they're snoring, they stop breathing. That's what sleep apnea is. They stop breathing, and that machine keeps pumping air in their body. Okay.
That's good to have, man, because I think a couple of athletes have died like that. I think, what's the guy name? Used to work a big defense he was a defender for the LA Rams a long time ago.
He died from, you talking about Junior Seau?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He died from CTE.
CTE, okay. That's the brain thing, okay, the brain skin thing, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah, man, see, all of that stuff related, man. You gotta watch out for your mentality. And if you snoring and you snoring so much and it's messing up, your wife can't sleep or your lady can't sleep, gotta do something with it, man. Get you some kind of CPAP, whatever kind of PAP. Let's go round train, Bobby. Who we got? Barry said, James Miles and LF. You guys already know where I'm at. I don't know where you at. Where you at?
He's probably working at Boeing right now in the States.
Okay, he's working for Boeing. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Boeing's a great company to work for, man. Super benefits, and you can't go wrong with that kind of company. Let's go. We got Loving Freedom. He said, Barry and James Miles. You brothers take care. Thank you so much. Loving Freedom. You do the same, man. Ryan Train, BobbieD, Markell, James. He said, Loving Freedom. I pray you're head to a civilian location to end this VA sleep study triage. My brother, take care, and we can discuss the follow-up on Saturday roll call. Okay, salute. All right. Ryan Train, BobbieD, and Markell. Loving Freedom, Mr. James. Yes, sir. It's a civilian sleep center. I appreciate it. Anthony Lake, he said, Markell, if I file an appeal, do I have to present new information, or will they review the information that was denied? I don't have an easy access to my deployment medic records right now. I'm retired.
Okay, so yes. So when you filing your new appeal for whatever it was denied for, hopefully you have something new. Either the doctor said this is what it is now that they didn't say it was before, or a rule had changed. Like they said, okay, well, we're not accepting this because this is part of another service connection. Well, now they may have separated those two. And now this is a standalone disability that you can apply for, that where before they tied it in with a different disability. But yes, you're going to need to present something new to give them in order for them to even take a look at it. Because if you just file an appeal, but you don't say anything like, okay, I'm appealing this. Okay, why are you appealing it? What's the explanation? What changed? Because if nothing changed, the same thing is going to happen again. They're just going to deny it. So you're going to need to provide something to these people to let them know, hey, your first decision was wrong. This is why I'm filing appeal, because the doctor says this is what caused this issue, or I've had this issue in service. But yes, you're going to need something. Now, when it comes to your medical records, you should be able to get your medical records from either, you should get them from the VA, and you should be able to get them from the Army. I'm guessing you were in the Army. I don't know what branch you were in, but you should be able to get those records pretty easily. You can file a FOIA request, release for information, through the Department of Veterans Affairs. You can actually do it online, and they used to send you a disc in the mail. I don't know how they do it now. They may send you a bunch of email. I don't know how they do it anymore, but I know they used to send you a disc with your complete medical records on it. But you can apply for a FOIA request for release of information.
Okay. All right. So Anthony, go ahead and apply that for that request to release your medical records, and then you can use those to get started back again. Okay. All right. So I got Ryan Train, BobbieD, Deceit, One Nation. Thank you so much, Anthony Liggins, for the donation to the nation. He said, peace and love to all the vets riding the train. Toot, right back at you, my brother from another mother. Real quick. We need a dancer up in here. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the original players from the Himalayas. Jerome's in the house. I said Jerome's in the house. Jerome's in the house. I said Jerome's in the house. Come on, girl, let's do the penguin.
Thank you, Anthony Liggins, for the donation to the nation. More blessings. Much love to you, my brother from another mother. Who else we have? Right train, BobbieD, Deceit, BobbieD, and Markell, One Trade, One Nation under group. He said, former Boeing engineer here. Ooh. Okay. Former Boeing engineer. Okay. You probably made some Boeing pretty good, man. You're an engineer, you make some good money. What happened? Let's go. Mr. B, what up? He said, what up, folks? We doing good, man. Good to see you in the house today. Riding train with the veterans. Smooth sound. He said, Mr. Markell, you should have been a school teacher. You explain things in such detail. Yeah, Markell? He said you should have been a school teacher.
No thanks.
Not today. Not today's time. Maybe back in.
I appreciate it though.
And they don't make a lot of money either. Let's go. Ride train, BobbieD, Deceit, One Nation, under groove, one love. Diaz, he said, as far as the appointments I was talking about earlier, if a civilian doctor saw me for injuries in the general area of my service-connected injuries, do I need to bring that to my evaluation appointment?
Oh, okay. I get what you're talking about now. Okay. So basically, in other words, you're seeing a civilian doctor. The civilian doctor is basically telling you whatever your issues are may be coming from your service-connected disability. So you want to know if you need to take that information with you. Yes. Okay. You want to present that to the VA because if you go to file a claim, you want that information in your records already. That's something you don't have to go back and add later on if you do file a claim for something. So yeah, anytime you're seeing someone separate outside of the VA, because they're not going to just have access to those records unless you give them permission to get it. So anytime you're seeing an outside doctor, yes, get a copy of those medical records, take them with you and present them to the doctor or present them to Comp and Pen or wherever you're getting ready to do with it. But yes, they need to see them because they have you doing something and the other doctor said, no, you shouldn't be doing this. Well, they need to know that.
Right.
Or different medications. They may tell you one thing, the doctor's already prescribed you medication. So yeah, you want to take those, you want to take everything with you.
There you go, man. If you're going to see an outside physician, Yeah, you got to bring your records. Got to put a request in, get your records, and bring them with you. Who I got running train? BobbieD, One Nation, BobbieD and Markell. He said, Theo, what's up, man? He said, when I retired in 1983, I kept my copies of military records. They provided all the information I need to get my claims approved. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep all your records. They have your medical records. They got everything on you. Everything.
Okay. So you kept so you can keep your medical records as well? Because he said I kept all my military records.
Yeah.
Medical. Okay. So all your medical records. Okay. That's good.
Look, most retirees, this doesn't happen to a lot of people who leave early, but most retirees, they have a record from the time they entered to the time they left. They got a file with everything in there that happened to them. They usually keep a file.
Okay.
Most retirees do.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so you already got your record. You don't have to go back and get it. But most people don't even think about that. I mean, is this something that when you get to retire, is there a process that walks you through what you need to do? Like get your record?
Now it is. Now it is. In 2022, yes. Back when I got out, no. That's why a lot of people now. That's why a lot of people now, BobbieD, don't even know about the benefits from the VA. You would think a lot of people know already. You're entitled to this. You're entitled. No, there are so many veterans out there that have no clue what they're entitled to, because when they got out, it wasn't set up the way it is now. The way it is now, most people who get out, you know, they start the process 2 years, 3 years, 5 years in advance before they even get out. They've already getting their stuff together. They're already seeing the doctors for everything that's wrong with them. So by the time they get out, the VA has a complete file on them. They got everything that they need. But it wasn't always that way when people were originally getting out.
Right. So things have changed for the better. That's good. That's good. All right, guys. Look, that's all we got today. Thank you so much, Markell, for showing up. I know you had to do a hook and a crook, but you got here, man. You had an iPad to get here. But thank you for, hey man, it's so important that we get information out to our veterans, and we're so grateful to Markell Wingfield for showing up on Fridays for us like this. It's a blessing for us to have him. We want to give him as much time as he needs. That's why I separated my time from his time, because I don't want to rush him. This is important information that he gives out, and people, as you can see, people are ready to receive this information. Veterans are ready to hear it. So Markell, thank you so much for being here today. God bless you, man. For those of you that haven't signed on this show, go ahead and subscribe. Markell's TV, the podcast. Markell space TV, the podcast. He gives you veterans information, Social Security information, disability information, any kind of information you need. Overseas, you want to go overseas, traveling information. He will help you. He's got another show called Markell. It's called Markell's Tech Review. Okay. So if you have not signed up, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are listening and not tuned into the broadcast yet, this is on the replay. Go ahead and sign up to Markell's TV, the podcast, and Markell's Tech Review. Markell, thank you so much for showing up today. Anything else you want to say before you leave?
No, sir. That's it. I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate you. Take care now. God bless you.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for showing up today. This is our Veterans Time. Every week, Markell has advised you come on, and he's a man of his word. If you don't see him here, something hadn't happened. So I knew something was going on, but he made it. Thank you, Markell, again. Thank you guys for showing up, man. It's a blessing for you guys to show up and support this show, as well as Markell. Many of you came from Markell's show to support him, and that's a blessing. That's a tribute to his excellence in giving you the information you need. Thank you for being present on this show. If you have not, those of you that have not signed up for our show, go ahead and do that. Click the subscribe button and sign up for us as well. That's it for now, guys. It's a blessing with you. Thank you so much, Jane, for the donation again. The blessing, man. Y'all take care. God bless. Peace.